Mic check. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, let's see how that sounds. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see here. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get the mic up just a hair. All right, check, check, check. All right. What is happening, people? Say turn it up. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check 1, 2. Now, is that a little bit better? Let me make sure the alert box is alert and the chat box is chatty. That says it is. Okay. Alrighty, what's happening? What is going on, people? Hit that like button as you come in and share. I had to change some things a little bit. Still low. Is it still low, really? Okay. Well, now it's up to the top. That is as loud as I can make it right there. I'm sorry. All right. Wonder why it is low, though. Got the speakers on. Got everything rolling. Let me check the settings. Appreciate you. All right, let me go to output. No, I gotta go to audio. Yeah, everything is on. That is strange. That is strange. So, all right, well, hopefully it's a little bit better now. Let me put that up to there. All right, as you all know, I've got a special guest here. Shout out to everybody that's here. Lionel Bogan, second time here. What's happening, brother? Oh no, we're gonna have to kill a fruit booty here today. Simon, yeah, I'm busy today. Well, today was supposed to be the big UFO show. You know, it was Black History Month. I was starting a big UFO show, which was going to be nothing but, which is karma, because it was supposed to be nothing but rampant speculation. And so, yeah, I don't. Let me try something here. I got an issue on why this isn't picking up you all's chat. So let me open it up. I don't know why I have to do this all the time. It's like you have to reset everything. There. Now it's working. So, well, again, the mic is turned all the way up. So, so I am sorry if it's low. I mean, I promise you, I turned it off and on, and yeah, it's all the way up. I'm in the. If you look at the mixer, I'm in the yellow. That's about as you don't want it going past the green line. So you may have to turn yours up. All right, but I got about 7 minutes. I do have a special guest coming on. Oh! Just got a new sub, Gritch the Gladiator. How are you doing there, young man? How are you doing? Certainly hope you are enjoying the afternoon. It sounds good now. Okay, well, let me kind of, yeah, I had to kind of reboot everything because I wanted to go early, and YouTube would not let me go early. Okay, because it's the way, I don't know, it's stupid. So, but anyway, all right. So I got a special guest. So I've converted this to the Big Xbox podcast. I've got, I am the top, I'm the messiah of Xbox. And I reached out today to the biggest Xbox fan on the planet. And they are going to be able to come on and they're going to be able to talk about all the stuff we see here. We got the Xbox Series X confirmed specs. Hold on, let me kind of clean up that text there. Hold on, let me cancel that. Let me come into the text here. Let's see here. We got them bending the knee. Let me move that back. And then I got to put 2 spaces right there. And then there we go. There we go. So yeah, well, I hopefully it is loud. It's probably too loud now. So let me turn this down because I had that on 100. So let me bring it down to my normal. So I'm the biggest Xbox guy on Twitter and whatever you call it, Twitter, social media. I'm the biggest guest here. Numero uno. He's on multiple podcasts. He's a successful businessman. Okay, and I'm talking about a businessman, not this bull crap that you all people talking about. And you know what? I let me first start out before I introduce the guest, who I assume is in the waiting room here. Let me check this Discord thing. All right, so hopefully he's here. He's here in another 5 minutes or so. He's already made contact with me. But if you want to come on in now, I'm talking to the special guest. If you're listening, come on in and hit mute. And I will bring you on. You know, it's Black History Month, and I'm in a good mood. Now, I have decided that Black History Month is whatever month we want it to be and not whatever month that, they give us. You dig? So, today I got up, I got my UFO notes out, and I was going to have this grand UFO show and try to bring up pictures on this stupid looking thing. And that you see playing, I'm playing Control, by the way. That is playing at 1080p, high graphic settings, at a little over 60 frames a second on the world's most powerful PC. You all know I have an AMD build. And I'm always, you can see right there, the last time I did a podcast, I'll update you. I'll update you on the money for the new graphics card. And we were able to get a little bit more cash today. So as you can see, we're 38% there. We got 24 more days to go. I mean, once I throw in my money, because the card costs $300, once I throw in my money, we're actually closer than that. So, but yeah, I mean, so I got all this news, and being the big Xbox guy, got the best Xbox podcast. We're going to talk about confirmed things, not things that are, speculated on. I should say that, because we can speculate all day. I can speculate that Brie Larson's going to knock on my door and take me out for chicken parmesan. I mean, if we're just going to speculate. So, but as the top Xbox podcast now, as the leader of the COMMUNiTAH, okay, I've got to deal with Kid Smooth saying that the COMMUNiTAH was in distress. We're gonna go over the confirmed Xbox Series X. I've got them right here in front of me. Shout out to my source, Lou Wafa. You all know who my source is. Lou Wafa. He ain't never wrong. Lou Wafa's the one that told us all about the game, about the graphics and what to expect in the processor. But I got to deal with this Canadian con man. Being it is Black History Month, you know what I'm saying? You really need to shut your mouth because you're a joke. You're a fucking joke. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? They are making fun of you on 4 continents. All right? The Germans call you Das Wonder Idiot. The Aborigines, these are the original people in Australia. The Aborigines call you Jabba Jabba Daha Daha. The Japanese call you Baka, which means idiot in Japanese. And finally, the North America, that includes your home country, calls you a fucking coon. I don't think the guest is talking yet. A coon. The white man's bitch. So you can talk about gaming all you want to. I don't even know, and you can ask anybody here. Do I not ask who the YouTube gaming streets are? Where are the YouTube gaming streets? Okay? Where are the YouTube gaming streets? You know, because I would love for you to show me where they are. You know, so I mean, you're gonna have to show me where they are. Because as a black man, you embarrass me. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. So, you messing with the wrong. I won't pull your gamer card, you con man. I'll pull your black card. So you need to keep dancing like the little bitty coon that you are on the podcast that you go on. Dance for them, buck dance for them, sing and dance with master. I bet I bet you get a discount on shoes. I hope you do. So, as much dick as you suck on that podcast. So, and everybody knows who I'm talking about. So, so you keep it moving. Or if you want to come on here, I will bust your cheeks in front of everybody. How about we do that? So, Mr. Speculation confirmed. So, I don't know what else to say. Let me see if my special guest has arrived. Because we can move off of that. I will not pull your gamer card, D. I will pull your black card. So your best bet is just to keep it moving. There's a reason why you got the nickname Canadian Con Man. I bought an Xbox X through the generosity of somebody. Shout out to that person who will be the special guest. And I'm still waiting to play Assassin's Creed at 1080p. 60 frames a second. So, but now let me go to the Discord. Let's see. All right, well, let's see. The special guest hasn't come yet. He was here, now he's not here yet. So let me reach out on the Twitter machine and see if he's still able to come on. If not, we got the topics right here. We'll run them. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go here. I just sent that out. Let's hopefully see if we can jump right back on. Said Phil Spencer hurt Xbox by him saying he gives up. Well, hopefully we're going to we're going to be able to talk about that. So, yeah, hopefully, Lay, you're funny. So, oh yeah, welcome to come on and try. So, that's an open Discord. So, but yeah, well, I welcome him to come on and try. So, but yeah, so welcome to the Big Xbox Podcast. As you can see here, we're going to be talking about the confirmed specs of Series X. We're going to be talking about the Microsoft Flight Simulator, the confirmed planes that you're going to have, because they put some news out through the beta. The Xbox COMMUNiTAH in distress, which I didn't know they were. So, so yeah. We're just waiting to see if the guest comes on. Phil, jump off the Microsoft bent the knee. They pretty much came out and said that I'll just read from The Verge here. Again, I left a link in the description for you all to see. It's by Tom Warren. It came out February 5th, which I believe is today. Yes, Wednesday. Came out at 8:42. I'm sorry, this morning. 8:42 this morning. Says Phil Spencer. This is Microsoft Xbox boss. Says Amazon and Google are the main competitors going forward. says Sony and Nintendo aren't the main competition in the cloud world. So the secondary line of Sony and Nintendo aren't the main competition in the cloud world. That's them bending the knee. They're no longer going to concentrate on their console going forward. They're going to concentrate on cloud-based operations for gaming. And again, remember, and shout out to King Thrash because he mentioned this before. Microsoft is cloud. That's what they are at this point. They've got I think they have the biggest one. They either have the most successful one or one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest one. They have one in the top 3. And they may have the top number 1. I'm sure somebody can find that out. But they are no longer going to be concentrating on console-based gaming going forward. Going forward, their future is not on console. So, I mean, and this is according to Phil Spencer. So, this it is what it is. Yeah, now that is according to Uncle Phil's, what they would say. So yeah, they bent the knee. They no longer consider Sony and Nintendo competition because again, they're moving in a different direction. And you guys remember when Nintendo, when Nintendo pretty much said, "Hey, we're not trying to get in between what Microsoft and Sony is doing." We're trying to we're over here doing our own thing, which is fine, which is fine. So, but Microsoft doing this, it just literally means, remember everything we talked about here, Microsoft getting out of the console business. Microsoft again, they came out last year and said that Microsoft came out last year and their announcement pretty much said, wouldn't it be great to play the games that you want to play on the system that you're on? I'm paraphrasing, but Phil Spencer said you can play Red Dead Redemption, then turn around and play Forza. And, the thought was, okay, that's great, but what if you want to play those games on something that's not an Xbox? What if you have a Nintendo, like that Alien, what's it called? The Alien UFO thing that's coming out or that we've seen?
Alienware.
Yeah, Alienware. Oh, there's the guest. Let me introduce you. Let's walk you up here. Introducing, and just so that this guest knows, he is the first guest on the Big Xbox podcast. He's the biggest Xbox gamer out there. Okay,
Facts.
he's on multiple Xboxes. He's giving them away. I mean, he's giving them away like I would give away Jolly Ranchers. Well, I would give away every Jolly Rancher except the watermelon. But you can have all the rest. But I want to introduce the biggest Xbox fan that I know, the one on Twitter, the one that's on YouTube. I guess you all call him the gaming streets. I like to introduce as the Messiah is nothing without a trusted apostle. It is the one and only, the Chevette driving, limousine riding, wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing man himself, J-Dub City, the man of the hour. J-Dub, my brother, what is happening? What is happening?
Yo, 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 what's going on, Craig? And everybody out here in the YouTube streets. What's good?
Yeah, now maybe you can help me here. What are the YouTube streets? Because I don't know what they are. Can you help an old man that has a jitterbug phone? Can you help a brother out? Because I don't know where the YouTube streets are. I look out the window and I don't see any street called YouTube. So where do I go? How do I get there? Do you have
Hey
any?
man, the YouTube streets is anywhere where there's controversy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Well, in that case, well, brother, welcome to the Xbox podcast, the biggest and best, most accurate Xbox podcast on YouTube, the YouTube gaming
facts,
streets, okay?
facts.
No speculation, only confirmation. And as you can see, I have the links there in the chat. And I believe if I did this thing correctly, let me look here. Yes, where it says underneath the Cash App, I've got the flight sim video with all the planes that I will name. I've got the Tom's Guide about how I'm going to read the Xbox Series X confirmed specs, not this speculation horse shit that comes out of these people's mouths every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And The Verge is about Phil Spencer. Let me get your opinion on Phil Spencer and what he said today. So, what do you think this means? I personally think this means they're getting out of physical media and that they're going to do nothing but cloud-based services. Eventually, what do you think they're going to end up doing?
Yeah, yeah. And listen, here's the thing about it. And, we kind of figured that this was coming anyway for a while back. I think you've been saying that Microsoft is going down this route.
Correct.
They can't compete with Nintendo and with Sony on the higher echelon of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the studios. They don't have the games. They don't want to fight for the big stuff. And so, what's happening is they're going to basically end up being a third party publisher. So they're just going to publish their games and put them on any and all platform. Phil has been talking for a couple of years now, saying that play where you want to play any and everywhere.
Yeah.
And so, that means if you want to play on the Xbox, you can. If you want to play on PlayStation, that's fine. If you want to play on PC, that's fine. Or the Nintendo Switch, that's fine. I mean, they've put their characters on the Nintendo Switch. I mean,
Have they now?
yeah. I mean, come on, we got to look at uh, everybody. All the Xbox guys were asking for a new Banjo Kazooie game, and Phil turned around and put the character, gave it to Nintendo.
I did
And
not
then
know that.
and they got it in their Super Smash Brothers game. Yeah, he said, we hear you guys, and then so he gave it to the Nintendo fans. He heard them, so that's that's
That I
kind
didn't
of,
know.
yeah, man. So
All right.
you
Uh-huh. And
you
this
got
other people. No, I
the
didn't mean to interrupt
biggest
you. Go
the
ahead.
biggest X yeah the biggest Xbox game out there
Yeah.
is already on PlayStation platform.
But,
It's called Minecraft.
oh yeah, that's
So
true. That's true.
Microsoft is no stranger to putting their games any and everywhere. They can't compete. I mean, they have a extremely small install base. So what else is there? Phil waved the white flag. He said, "No mas, no mas, no more." So now, Craig, when an Xbox guy walk up to you and tell you how 12 T flops is gonna
Oh
kick the butt of
Christ.
everybody, just tell them, well, it don't matter anymore. Phil waved the white flag. It's over. Stand down. Stand down.
Yeah. Now I've looked up the Series X specs, and they're right here on Tom's Hardware, which is a Tom's Guide. I'm sorry, and which is a
Mm-hmm.
reputable site, and
Mm-hmm.
so I use them sparingly, but for the big Xbox podcast, it's based on accuracy and confirmation, not speculation and horseshit. It says here's everything we know about the new Xbox, and this was posted 7 days ago. This is the latest news, and it just says it says Series X is the Xbox's most powerful game console ever. Now, it doesn't say it's the most powerful game console available this fall. So so not for us to speculate, but there's nothing here about it being more powerful than anything except the Xbox that's out there. That's the way I'm reading it, or is that the way you would read that too? Am I missing something?
Well, in order for you to say you have the most powerful anything, that means you have to know what your competition is doing. You have to know their specs
Mm-hmm.
and what they have, and therefore, I don't think Sony and Nintendo and Microsoft share specs when they're competing against each other.
Right.
Now, who knows? Maybe Phil decided to share the specs of his system directly with Sony
Mm-hmm.
because he didn't want to. Think about it. What Phil said. They're no longer competing with Sony. That means
Correct.
there's no competition. That means there's no reason for Sony to turn down any type of deal that would allow Microsoft games to come to the PlayStation platform. As you remember, a while back, this was last year,
Mm-hmm.
word came out that Matt Booty and Phil Spencer tried to give Halo and Halo and Gears to PlayStation. They wanted to put that on the PlayStation platform, and Sony ended up turning that down. But because they were competitors, Sony looked at it as like, I don't want I don't want competitors' games on my platform. But
Hmm.
now this is different. Now they're no longer competing, so we could definitely see these games come sooner rather than later on PlayStation and the Switch.
Well, now that's something that's a nice piece of a chalk to chew on. If they're not going to consider me a competitor, then so you think that kind of softens them up, maybe going not now, but a year or two down the road of seeing other games besides Minecraft
Listen, I
on the
wouldn't even
system.
say a year or two.
Okay.
I mean, the writing is on the wall. These
Oh yeah.
guys don't want to compete with Sony,
Hmm.
and Game Pass is another option, right?
Correct.
We
Correct.
already got EA Access. That's
Yeah,
an app that can be ran on a PlayStation.
that's true.
Uh, so Game Pass is just an app that could be ran on PlayStation. There is literally no reason. There is nothing preventing Sony from saying no. That's
Wow.
just more. They got the higher echelon of gaming with
Hmm.
the PS5. That's where everybody's going to be. They have 109 million install base. Why not?
Are
Why
they at
would they turn
109
down?
million sold? Or this
Yeah,
109 million? They've jeez.
109 million sold. So yeah, and keep in mind,
Hmm.
sold meaning Sony sold that to a retailer,
Right.
and or it's up to the retailer. That's it. Don't matter if Walmart buy a million copies from Sony. That's a million copies sold,
Oh,
whether you
okay.
sell it to people inside the home or not. But the biggest take from the financial reports, and think about it, all this news came after two major things happened yesterday, Craig.
Hmm.
Sony announced their financials.
Oh,
They
okay. I
they
didn't know that.
announced
Okay.
that PlayStation Network has made $12 billion alone. That's more than Nintendo and
Wow.
Mike and all of Xbox uh, combined. Just the PSN. That doesn't include the games. That doesn't include um, you know the hardware. That's just specifically games. I mean, that's specifically the subscription.
But I was told as an Xbox guy, and you being a big Xbox guy, we were
Hmm.
under the impression that Game Pass was going to be this juggernaut of this freight train coming at you, and you're telling me that Sony has, based on that financial, is
Hmm.
has made more money than Microsoft with their
Yes.
with their service, even though their
Yes.
service isn't at the front of the train.
Yes.
Man, that's
So
disappointing.
listen,
That's
the
disappointing as an Xbox guy. That is disappointing.
you know what it is, but at
Uh-huh.
the same time, look at the caliber of games. Look at what's going on with Microsoft. Um, just look at and the guys keep going back to, well, they bought these studios, they bought that,
Mm-hmm.
they bought these 14 studios, but what they don't want to, for some unknown reason, Craig, they don't want to admit and look at the quality of studios that Microsoft bought. Microsoft didn't buy any big major studio. They
That's
bought
true.
a bunch
True.
of double A and indies, some cheap studios that can. No, no, I'm
No,
not saying
you're
that they're
right. No,
bad.
you're
I'm
right.
not saying
No,
they're
I'm just
bad.
saying you're
I'm
right.
just saying
That's what
if
Matt
these
Booty
things,
said, though, Jay. Matt Booty
yeah,
said that we bought these studios to put the games in Game Pass. I'm paraphrasing, and so I don't want
yeah,
people to say that I'm bashing because this is the Big Xbox podcast. I can go back and confirm what Matt Booty said. As a matter of fact, I will just to keep my record clean because this is a
yeah,
different Xbox podcast. This is not going to be any speculation at all. This is not going to
yeah.
be Fruit Booty Central. That's another podcast. If you came here looking for speculation, if you came here looking for somebody to stroke you off in the corner, you're in the wrong damn place. Go somewhere else. Haul ass, take your shit and go. You're not going to get that here. You will get nothing but things that can be confirmed. Now, Matt Booty, shake, not smack my booty. Matt Booty said something, and I'm paraphrasing. We bought these studios to put games on Game Pass, and if we get a major game, and they brought up the first Hellblade, that's a double A game that gives you a triple A feel. That's even better. Now that's what he said. I mean, correct? Isn't that he said something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah, you're right.
yeah.
That
So,
he
all
that,
right, go
that
ahead, go ahead.
that's exactly what he said. Listen, even Phil Spencer himself said that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they
Oh, okay.
they they plan to release 4 to 5 games a year,
Mm-hmm.
and you're only able to do that, and they need games right now. So trying to get a big AAA game takes 5, 6, 7, 8 years to put out, whereas these AA and indie games they can knock them out in little or no time, maybe a year or two. Um, you know, so it is what it is. But there's a lot of Xbox guys expecting um, AAA experience from these AA and indie studios, and I asking myself, why would you do that? Why would you expect AAA game from an indie studio? That makes no sense.
Right,
And
right.
even Mikey Barra said that. Mikey Barra
Mm-hmm.
said, stop putting more pressure on these developers and these studios, because that's not what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft wanted the flexibility,
Yeah.
and so now they have the flexibility to kind of crank these games out. It is what it is, man. They want games everywhere. They want games you can play on your cell phone.
Right.
They want games you can play on the Switch. This is why they make these services games. These games like Sea of Thieves, State of Decay.
Trash.
Whether it's trash or not,
Yeah.
it's still a game.
No, it's
And
new. And Sea of
so
Thieves, I give
listen.
credit
I'm
that
sure
they.
there's somebody right now playing hundreds of hours of Crackdown.
Yeah.
At least that's what I heard. At
Well,
least that's what
my
I heard.
PC won't load Crackdown, so
Okay.
I played it and then it went the
You don't have
screen.
you don't have enough cloud or what?
No, I mean it turned off, and when I tried to reboot it, it said "nigga, please." That's what my
Oh,
computer
okay.
came up and said. But no, it's a
Yeah.
yeah, but no. Sea of Thieves, I give credit to because that's a new IP, and it's a shout out to David Jaffe. Like he was talking to Next Gen one day, and he said it takes a whole lot to get a brand new IP off the ground, brand new. Not something you're rebooting or you're remastering, because you can at least say, hey, this, I can come to you and say, Jada, hey, back this. We got 3 million install base that could support this game, and that may get you from a maybe to a yes. But let's talk about
Yep.
all right. Let's talk about some more things on the Series X that are confirmed, not speculated about. 4K visuals at 60 FPS, 8K, and 120 FPS support. Hardware ray tracing and near instant load times. These are confirmed. These are what's been confirmed. Not what I want, not what Jay wants to happen. These are things Microsoft has physically come out and told you this console was going to be. So right now, what stands out about what I just said about the Series X right now, J Dub?
Um. Listen. What stands out to me?
Yeah.
I heard 8K. I
Yes. Yes.
also heard 4K 60,
Mm.
but haven't we heard 4K 60 for the last three years when the Xbox One X came?
Correct.
Remember
Correct.
4K 60 uncompromised? Yeah, so maybe we'll finally get that 4K 60 uncompromised. I don't know.
Now, does uncompromised? Are they talking about graphics? Like you'll have a 4K resolution, but the graphics will be uncompromised.
Craig, when somebody tell me 4K 60 uncompromised, I'm gonna take it as I'm getting all the bells and whistles and
Mhm.
everything turned up max. There is no kind of compromise or settings that need to, or any dips in the frames or anything like that. That's why I take it as. When you say, well, now when you go to compromising, that's when you go to getting your 30 frames a second. That's when you start turning bells and whistles down. That's when you start to see lower resolution, a checkerboard, or dynamic
Mm-hmm.
words like that. That comes up when I hear compromise.
All right, let me ask you because you got a high performance PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what? How did Xbox get a game, Red Dead Redemption 2, and it
Mm-hmm.
have lower than low settings? I mean, you got a high performance PC. What is lower than low? I mean, if I say what's colder than cold, you'll say ice cold. But what's
Hey,
lower than low? I mean,
Lord,
what's low?
Lord and low,
Yeah.
Craig.
Uh huh.
That means stuff is just not popping up. That just means we just not adding this in there. Period. These blades of grass, they just not gonna be there. It's not that they're gonna be small. They
Uh-huh.
just period not gonna show up. That's
Okay.
what that is.
So if as an Xbox guy, probably Red Dead Redemption 2, probably not the game to be running around chubbing myself up to if I got lower than low settings. That's like going to the liquor store and all they got is pop. We out of alcohol. And fat people don't fail cooking. So you can't have a
Yeah.
game lower than low and then be bragging about it. I mean, come on, guys. That's
Well, Craig, we all know, man. To a lot of these guys, it's not about that. It's just as long as mine is a little bit better than yours, that's all that matters. And
but what
and
is
and
lower than low can't that's how is that better than anything? I mean,
hey,
that's like saying, well, you got an F plus and I got an F.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
Now
now it's
you're
gonna
right.
it's gonna have hardware based ray tracing. So, what do you expect from Xbox Series X when it comes to the games with ray tracing hardware?
None at all. And
Nothing.
no, nothing at all. And only because, Craig,
Mhm.
the first time, shame on you. The second time, shame on me.
Correct.
The third, fourth, fifth time, like, come on now. Like, we've been here before. We've seen the writing on the wall before. Why are we still doing this?
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? They promised us something. We didn't get it. All right, cool. Then they drop another system, promise something. We didn't get it. All right, cool. Then the third, the fourth, and fifth time, like, all right, well, fine. Y'all just fucking buying consoles now, and y'all know what y'all gonna get. You just in denial. So right now, I'm taking that wait and see approach. I don't get hard for something called 12 T flops, especially when I've seen 1.86 T flops give me the best visuals of my life.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah. No.
sometimes numbers, having paper specs is different than having it in your hands on your home console.
Yeah, I understand. Now let's talk about the specs of Series X. Oh, just try to say that 10 times. The specs of Series X. Now let's talk about what's confirmed, not what these moist fruit booties are telling you what should happen. It says custom AMD Zen 2 CPU. Then it's got
Hmm.
something called a custom. It's capital N, capital V, capital M. And then it's got a little E. So the E is I
Yeah,
don't
the
know.
NVMe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's disappointing if you got a little e, but all right, so be it. It's got an
yeah,
SSD, which I believe means solid state drive or solid
yeah. That's
storage drive. Okay.
non-volatile memory.
Okay. Well, I guess it
Yeah,
won't explode then, so it's stable.
yeah.
And then GDDR6 memory. Now this is 7 days old, ladies and gentlemen. I want you all to know that the link is in the description. Can somebody tell me why the hell people are running around saying 12 T flops when there's nothing here about anything? I mean, there's nothing here about the GPU at all.
Well, this is what they did, Craig.
Okay.
They did state stuff like twice the CPU, the three time, four time the CPU power, twice the GPU power.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at power, and that's one thing I don't like about Microsoft because their wording on how they play on stuff is often finicky, and so it's not really what you think it is. Because after they get exposed and Digital Foundry get a hold of them, then people want to go with that. Well, they didn't really say T flops; they just said twice. That could have been twice the shaders.
Oh,
That could have
yeah,
been
sure, sure. Good point.
twice. That could have been twice the the memory bandwidth. That could have been twice the speed. It could have been twice anything. They didn't go into depth with that. And so seeing twice of the Xbox One X doesn't necessarily mean what we think it means. But guys are hoping and praying that it means that, and I hope and pray that it means that too. For their sake. Because if not, I hate to say it, Craig, but there's going to be a lot of Xbox guys that do not buy Xboxes this upcoming generation. If you thought that they didn't support Xbox this generation, just wait till the next generation. If that system is not the world's most powerful console.
Well, we both supported the Xbox. I want to make it clear that I have had every iteration of Xbox, from that little bitty black thing that came out in '03 or '02, whatever it came out, '02, '01. I had that. I had the 360. I had something called the 360 Elite. I also had
Hmm.
the big one, the one that came out in
The OG.
13. Yeah, that one
Yeah,
that looked like a
the fat
VCR.
back.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fatback. I had that one. I had the Xbox S. I had two Xbox X's. And they
Hmm.
still don't. I still haven't been able to play 1080p 60 FPS Assassin's Creed. And my Xbox X has a little bit mo button. I showed that to people. I literally
Yeah.
turned on my camera and said, "There's a button here for the little bit mo," and I pressed that button, and that's when I called. Remember, I emailed you. I said, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do? I don't see nothing here." You know,
Yeah.
so and that was the X. I mean, and now let me make this clear: the Xbox X is the quietest console I've ever had because I hardly ever turned it on, but I still had it. But I was very disappointed, with that. What up to Ice Queen Gaming? How you all doing in the chat? Hit that like button and share. This is the best darn Xbox podcast where everything has been confirmed and the speculation is not allowed because it's Black History Month and we ain't gonna lie about it. Also, I would like to give a belated birthday to Trayvon Martin, who would have turned 25 today, and that was taken away from him. So everybody knows that story.
Salute.
Yeah. So but
Salute.
we'll move on. Shout out to the Nightbot as well. Shout out to the Nightbot. So let me ask you this, because you got the high performance PC. What is the difference between 720p and 1080p? Because there is somebody in the what you call them the YouTube streets that
Hmm.
swears up and down there is no difference between 720p and 1080p.
Yeah.
So is there a difference, or is there no difference in 720p and 1080p?
There's a difference, but it depends on who you're asking and what agenda they have.
Uh
It,
huh.
it could be little or it could be a lot.
Well,
A
the
lot of the
agenda here is the truth. So let's talk truth here. Is there a difference
yeah,
between 1080p and 720p?
there is.
Oh, okay, there is. Okay.
There is a difference. Now, here's the thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
At resolution that low, so a lot of times you can see a difference. But the higher the resolution goes, the harder it is to be able to tell because the pixel density is so cluttered together. It's extremely hard. This is why once you get up into the 1440, the 2K and the 4K realm, like
Uh-huh.
the 1440p and the 4K realm, it's almost indistinguishable. And this is how you get a lot of these 1440p games looking better than the 4K games.
Yeah, and I love
Uh,
it. And for the
yeah,
record, everybody here knows, I don't know if you've heard me say, 1440p is my girlfriend. You give me a 1440p game at 60 frames a second with high graphic settings, and I'm in love. Let me ask the chat guys something. BK Bedstar, I want you to ask yourself a question. How would D-Batch know the difference in seconds with the PS5 and Xbox Series X SSD if neither one has released the speeds? Okay,
yeah, it's
I
all
really want you all to ask yourselves that. Okay,
yeah,
and
it's all rumors and
and
speculation, and
speculation. Yeah.
we know a lot of these rumors and speculation come from the same guys that have been wrong all generation long. I mean, these guys have said
Yes,
these
true.
are the same guys that get on podcasts every single day and every single week telling you how great Xbox is and how great Xbox is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, 7 years later, Phil is throwing in the towel yet again. So I don't know.
Yeah, Carlos Fernandez said the answer is none. Give me the lion eyes. Yeah, I mean yeah. I don't know how somebody can say something's going to be faster or slower. They could be the same for all I know. I mean, I'm we're not here speculating. There is a podcast that does that though. So let me
Yeah.
make that clear. There's a podcast that does that for Xbox guys. Just this is not the one. So speaking of games, what Xbox game are you looking forward to playing this year, 2020? Uh,
Uh, um, maybe Battletoads. I think that's their biggest their biggest flagship game that they got coming out this year.
okay. Any one on second? What about Ori?
Or I'm gonna wait and get that on the Switch like I did the first one.
Oh, okay, that's right. I keep
Yeah,
forgetting that is
yeah.
one. I
It
didn't know
looks
that. Okay.
and plays better on the Switch according to Digital Foundry.
Oh well,
So
hey, White Zaddy. Hey, you can't argue with
yeah,
those
White
guys.
Zaddy said that. Yeah.
Well, for me, it is the flight sim game. And
Mm-hmm.
I got to hold this joystick. And bear with me here, guys. I want to talk about this game really fast because there's some more information that came out on their open beta. Dynamic weather, which literally means that because it's going to be cloud-based computing, they are. And again, I got to confirm this on a second source. I haven't been able to confirm this on a second source, but the first source is saying that they're going to be like linked up to the Weather Channel or something like that, because you're going to be able to fly all around the world, and from London to Dubai, like because it's cloud-based computing. So let me make this clear: if you get in a plane and it's cloud-based, what Microsoft may do, what they did in Elite Dangerous, was that if you had 6 hours to complete your mission, you couldn't. If you turned off your Xbox, you can't just walk away because the 6 hours is still going. So you will fail that mission. It doesn't just stop because you get off because you stop playing. So if it tells you it's going to take you 9 hours to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, or however long it takes to get to your destination, you will be sim flying for that long. Just so everybody
Yep.
knows. I mean, that's what they're going for. That's how realistic they want this to be. But your airplanes that are confirmed, these are confirmed airplanes. So everybody bear with me. The TBM 900 is confirmed. The Airbus A320, all right? The Murdy Cap 10C, which the Murdy Cap is the one that they show on the preview flying upside down and all that kind of stuff. The Icon A5, which is a seaplane. I can't wait to get my hands on that one. Cessna 172, which is trash. That's the planes that kept crashing in the 90s. Were those Cessnas. The Cessna Citation, which looks like a Learjet. It's like a ripoff of a Lear. The Diamond DA62 class, that's a great plane. TBM 930, Cessna 208 Grand Caravan. This the Grand Caravan, guys, is the plane that when you go on sightseeing, you generally take a Grand Caravan. The Piper, of course, everybody knows the PA 18. One of my favorite planes, the X Cub. I love the little X Cub. It's very powerful. It can take off on a small runway. The Robin Apex, the DR 400 series, and finally, the granddaddy of them all, Mrs. Naple name sales herself, the Boeing 747, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know if they're going to add resistance on it. I don't know. I'm not saying that they will or that they won't, but if they're going for the greatest sim of all times, that's their goal. You got to add resistance, especially on takeoff, because the plane is very heavy. I just got a new sub. Thank you for subbing, young man, to the greatest Xbox podcast here with the best Xbox gamer, myself, along with J Dub, the man who owns more Xboxes than he has anything else. I mean, because you've bought how many Xboxes, J Dub? About 5 or 6?
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably more than that. Yeah. If you think about all the different iterations and stuff, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Robert McLeod, D-Batch could call me a crackhead all he wants. What he will never call me is wrong. So, this so you know, all right, so you know. So, but yeah, he can say whatever he wants, but he's not gonna say, "Well, Craig was wrong about that." So, but anyway, so yeah, so are you thinking about the flight sim game even through Game Pass, maybe something that you could look into?
Yeah, well, that's on PC.
Uh,
And they haven't discussed anything about it going to Xbox, and so yeah, I've been in the alpha of the game for a while now. I think so I can't
yeah,
speak much of it, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, man, if you're a PC guy and you're looking forward to and you've played flight simulators in the past,
Yeah,
like Microsoft's Flight Simulator X and
mm-hmm.
stuff like that, X-Plane, Arrow Fly FS2. If you're into real simulators like that where you can race in VR and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
this game will probably be the game for you. If you're on console and stuff like that, like don't psych yourself up. Because flying this is not a game; it's a simulator. So yeah.
Oh no, that is yeah. I'm looking forward to this game. I just hope they can add resistance to the stick. That because especially
Yeah,
when you're
if
going
you
through.
want force feedback,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But holders should have that though, right? The holders flight shit. I'm talking about the big fancy one, not the little bitty.
yeah. The one I have,
Yeah.
the warthog that I have, it doesn't, but it's a real life replica of it, so
Hmm.
it has the same metal feel and stuff. The buttons are there, so it's a full replica. Flight simulators, force feedback. I'm not sure about that. I don't really. There's just one flight stick that had force feedback that I tried before. It just didn't go well, so
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. But once you're in VR, that takes you into a whole different realm, and so
Yeah.
you wouldn't even need any of that stuff. Yeah,
And see, this is a game that I wish Microsoft would have done VR for. Now, maybe they added on Oculus
yeah,
on PC, but this is just something that, yeah, I would, gee whiz. I mean, to fly that
yeah.
747 in VR,
Yeah,
I would love that. Yeah.
just imagine if Xbox had a VR, but nobody's asking for it, according to Phil Spencer.
Well, that's a lie. We all know that's a lie because they were going to have it. Hell, up to what is this 2020? So up to what 18? Aaron Greenberg was saying that they still planned on having a VR.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just not telling the truth. I mean, so no. I mean, it is what it is. But all right, so we covered that. All right, let me ask you this, because you saw the news. We talked about it a little bit. Kid Smooth, the Xbox is the best bot. He's the best bot. His words. I'm not putting words in Kid Smooth's mouth. Shout out to Kid Smooth. He said that the Xbox COMMUNiTAH was in distress. So, what exactly do you think he means by that? What is your interpretation for our Xbox brethren? Like, what can me and you do, or what can I do to so that they're not in as much distress?
Um, of course, it's a community in a way, and think about it. I mean, guys wake up every day, they fight the good fight, and for your leader and your general to walk out of the battlefield and say he's tired of fighting, that has to do something for you. That has to lower morale, and I see a lot of more Xbox guys defecting,
Oh,
going to the
really? Now
PlayStation.
that I didn't
I
know.
do.
All right, now,
Yeah.
so what? Like they're just flat. What are they doing? Saying like I'm getting rid of it, or I'm not
How
buying
could
it, or
how could Phil do that to us? He know they say stuff like he know we run these Xbox only, these pro Xbox podcasts, with all these breaking news uh, headlines, and now basically Phil Spencer said that power don't matter, console don't matter. It's all about the cloud, baby. And
well, and
so
he
yeah,
also said that frame rate was more important than power. Somebody did bring that
yeah,
up
he
in the
did.
chat earlier. So for
Yeah,
all
he
you
did.
guys that think that Xbox is going to be more powerful, again, I don't care if it is or if it isn't. But Phil Spencer has said that they're concentrating more on frame rates, which is fine. Let me make that clear. Than he is on power. At least he has said that publicly. Now we have to wait and see if he's lying his ass off. But no, that's that I mean, so they're literally in distress. I mean, I work in the medical field. When I hear somebody's in distress, that's that that's a loaded gun right there.
Yeah.
But all right, so they're distressed because of what? Of the Xbox. All right, so they're distressing because they think Phil's given up. Is that what you're saying? Phil's throwing the white flag.
Yeah, fair. They listen. They Phil has always been their man that gives them courage to keep the fight going, and now he's effectively ended the console war and left these guys on the battlefield. They don't have any talking points to say anything else, and so yeah, they feel depressed. They feel like he led them down a narrow path to doom, and it's gonna be a long year for these guys, especially with the type of games that they got dropping this year. We got Battletoads, we got Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
What is
Uh,
Battletoads? You always had that picture up there. I thought it was like of a cartoon from the 80s. That's what I put down. What is
well,
that?
no, that's a game that
Okay.
Rare back in the day.
Hmm.
I think it was a rare game
Okay.
back for the NES. For the NES, it was very popular back in the '80s. Most people don't know what that game is. They don't know about the characters. Ninja Turtle kind of came out and took all the energy out of Battletoads.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of the Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles, of course, but
but it's a Microsoft IP,
okay.
so they will defend it to the death. So this, when he say we heard you, this is the game that he was talking about. So yeah,
Wow. I just mean that's well,
and I
at least
posted because a lot of a
yeah.
lot of Xbox guys, they really can't stand that game. They can't stand that GIF. And so that's another reason I posted. But at the same time,
So you're
that's what Phil
trolling,
Spencer
okay?
gave you. Well, technically,
I mean,
listen,
it
Phil
is fine.
Spencer.
That's
It's
fine.
not me trolling. Phil Spencer trolled when he gave you that. Phil Spencer did that, not me.
Uh huh. Well, all
I
right.
didn't bring. I didn't make that game. I didn't say this is what my fan base is asking for.
Yeah, I mean, so
You
let me
know.
ask you, as the number one Xbox guy, because you've been supporting them, you got you still have Game Pass, or are you giving up on it too?
Oh well, my $1 subscription ran out, so yeah, I just wait until a game come out that's worth another dollar, and then I'll spend another dollar and get it again.
Mine's going to run out. I need to play Halo Reach again. That's my favorite Halo. I like all the Halos, but Reach is my favorite. Uh, but uh,
Okay, okay.
yeah, but no, I just the people have asked me to play the multiplayer. I'm like, no, I'm not playing with your monkey ass. I'll play the single player, because it's
Mm.
my favorite. It actually gives you a sense of how big the Covenant invasion was, like how big it is. It's you get like a little slice of it with Master Chief. When you actually see that first invasion force, the occupying force, that thing is
Hmm.
huge. And it's really fun to have to fight through it. I still remember what the Spartan said. It said, I'm trying to make contact with base, and the guy was like, why? We're losing. And he said,
Yeah,
and she says, like, well, I know we're losing. I want to see if we've already lost. So um,
yeah.
but yeah, all right. So since there's no confirmation on the GPU, we got no confirmation on the SSD. We've got so
It's
what?
all speculation, Craig.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
far
but
from what we
why?
know is all
Yeah,
speculation.
yeah, yeah. But let me ask you this. Fair enough. Why are so many people in the Xbox COMMUNiTAH speculating? Why are they not waiting on confirmation? What is your opinion? Because here in this podcast, we just did today, everything is sourced. There can't be no damage control because everything is sourced. So
Yeah.
so why do you think there's so much speculation with Series X? And they're not talking about the games. Like we just talked about the flight sim game and Battletoads and because you're looking forward to playing it, and you're going to get Ori, but you'll get it on Switch. So, um, but why not talk about the games that they know are coming out on their podcast versus saying, well, this is going to be doing this and this? So, what do you think?
Um, because it's not about the games. Because when you start comparing games, I mean, there's no comparison.
Okay.
What games they got coming? I mean, right now they've already closed up shop for the generation. They already moved on. They wait for Halo, and
Yeah.
so they don't want to talk about games because they don't have the games, and the games that they have, you know, people laugh at them. So I think that's where we are with that.
Hmm.
Um, it's a very awkward moment, and if a lot of guys are trying to still hold the line in hope that power is going to win them a generation or is going to help change the tides, um, I think they got another thing coming because history shows that the most powerful console rarely ever wins.
Facts. And again, let me make this clear. Shout out to Porter Rock 77 because I thought X would do things differently. I thought they would concentrate more on frames per second. But when you're going to give me these dog shit games, I mean, they got a game coming out about kids getting shrunk down and running from a ladybug. I mean, look, if that's what
Yeah,
you all want to play, like when I saw that game, I got rid of my Xbox because there's no why have that console when it's got something like that on there. When I'm looking at the
Craig.
PlayStation that's got a game coming out with two women kissing for Christ's sake.
Well, there you go. Well, Craig, that game was the "We Heard You" We Heard You game.
Oh
And
Christ.
Phil Spencer, shout out to him. He knows what the Xbox gamers are looking for. He knows what they want, and he's delivering boatloads of it. So,
Right.
more power to that brother.
Well, I mean,
I
he's
hope
not
he keeps
delivering
giving it
anything
that.
at this point. He didn't bent the knee. I mean, it's over. I mean, I
Well,
don't know what the. All right, so what are they going to talk? Here's the next question. Here, what are they going to talk about now that it's over? There's nothing to talk about. But what do you? I mean, in my opinion, nothing to talk about. But the games. Since they're not talking about the
mhm.
games, what are they going to talk about now for the next? I don't know. Is it 43 weeks, give or take, to the end of the year? What do you think they're going to talk about?
Oh, Craig, I personally, man, I think they're going to keep talking about all the speculations. They're going to keep talking about some games that they hope and pray that'll come within the next 5 years. But for the most part, I'm seeing a lot of guys out there just shaking their heads saying that enough is enough. They're jumping ship. So
I can't
yeah,
believe it. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to GameStop and try to get a new game, and then these black dudes are gonna be in there trading in their Xboxes.
yeah, man. And if you're gonna trade it in, you better hurry up before that. If it hasn't, the price already go down. I think they'll be handing you $100 for the Xbox One X. So
Well, hell, that one GameStop went out of business, and they were selling them for $199.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I told people, I said, look, at $199, this is actually a great buy. So this is
Well,
actually a great buy.
technically, Craig is not really a good buy, right? Your system is only worth the games that's available for it or that's coming out for it. And if
Yeah.
you don't have any games that's worthwhile, or if you already played the games and there's no good games coming, what else is there?
Well, I mean, again, yeah, I guess.
You see my point?
Well, I mean, come on, man. They got the flight sim game. We got to talk about the flight sim
Yeah, but
game.
that's on PC, brother. That's on PC. Like everything is PC. See, Phil did it perfectly, man. He made a smooth transition.
Right.
He transitioned the Xbox over to PC. He made it acceptable. He gave the PC their games, made it acceptable. Then he started putting Xbox games on the Switch, and little by little. So he made this transition slowly, and these guys have accepted everything that he's done for quite some time. So they are. It's their fault. They decided to accept this, and so we got to give them a round of applause for everything,
Yes.
all the support that they've given Phil Spencer on making Xbox a not only a service, but making it something that everybody, PlayStation fans, Nintendo fans, and PC fans can enjoy
Mm-hmm.
without spending a dime on an Xbox. Shout out to them.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys that did that. This is what you guys wanted. I mean, for me personally, X did not give it to me. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, so it is what it is. So, yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've covered everything here. Do you have anything to add? As the first guest of the Big Xbox podcast, all confirmation, no speculation. What do you think?
No, that's it, man. Shout out to Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
I was one. We've been wondering for a couple of years now when he was go ahead and shut her down. And it looks like yesterday, after Sony came out with their earnings and showed their big mega numbers. Also, shout out to Jim Ryan for greenlighting that PS5 website. So you can go to Sony's website um, and see the web page for PS5. I think that was a writing on the wall. And Phil said, "Yeah, enough is enough. No mas." And yeah, so yeah, man, that was Sony's strategy, and they played it right, man. Shout out to them.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you just tip your hat and move on, and maybe that's what Phil's decided to do. I
The one
mean,
thing, Craig,
no,
though,
yeah. Go
the,
ahead,
the
go ahead,
one
bro.
the one thing I do want to tell these Xbox guys, if they are distraught, if they are weary, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. There has always been three people competing for your console dollars. Somebody
Correct.
else will step up
Mm-hmm.
and take over that torch. We don't know what Amazon got coming. We don't
True.
know how this Google Stadia thing is going to pan out. We don't know. There's a lot of players in the field. So if Xbox itself, as in the hardware, goes away, it's okay. Somebody else will step up and jump into the console market. Just
Yeah.
because Phil don't want to no longer compete on the higher echelons of gaming does not mean that you should be upset. You should be sad. I mean, they've tried for what, 3 generations now.
Yeah, and they did
Um,
well with the 360. They did go. I've always said the 360 PS3 was they went toe to toe, but once that Red Ring of Death happened, that was over. I mean, people actually, and now
well,
me personally, I got two more Xboxes after getting Red Ring because the PS3
I
I was boycotting it on principle on what they
I
said.
I, I disagree,
Okay.
Craig, and only because about the 360 generation, I think, and I'm going to think about this. I think people give them credit because they were able to bring a lot of awareness and attention. But would the 360 have did anything if Sony didn't come out $200 more expensive a year later? No rumble in a controller, lack of software. Would they really have had a chance, or will we be in the same situation now? So I don't know.
That's a good question.
You know that. Think about it. After about 2 years, once Sony started hitting that stride with their games, it was a wrap. They started dropping the big hits, the Uncharted 2, 3. They started dropping. They had their Kill Zones, the Infamous, and all that stuff come out, and then they ended with Gran Turismo and The Last of Us,
Yeah,
which just dropped like a nuclear weapon.
yeah.
So I get why people have fond memories of the 360 era because they did have the better versions of the multiplats.
Hmm.
Um, but they also got to launch a year earlier, which means people are not going to sit around and wait a whole year with money in their pockets. They're going to go for the newest product. Look at the Switch. People like the Switch because it's a newer product. People just like new stuff. So shout out to the 360, but I don't want to give it too much credit because
Hmm.
it had momentum because of what Sony did. Sony messed up, but Sony was able to correct that in the same generation, come back and still beat them. So imagine this generation, right, being a race, toe to toe, step by step, and Sony just mashed the gas on their ass, and
Yeah.
that was a wrap. So
Hmm.
next generation, right? Sony has the mind share. They're going to have the hardware. They're going to have the games. They're going to have everything. And Phil already pulled out. Like he don't even want to
Pulled
start
out.
that race. He don't. Yeah, pause. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. I can say this with certainty. It's going to be a slaughter fest come day one when these consoles launch. It's going to be a slaughter fest. Everybody named Mama going to be PS, and
Yeah.
it's going to be a hard sale. Only for the left, the diehards that are left, um, fighting the fighting for the former Phil Spencer and Don Matrix.
Hmm.
Only those guys are actually going to buy an Xbox because they're not going to see any reason. Most people are moving over to the PC will fulfill the Xbox role in their home. So yeah,
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to add to that. I just don't. I mean, if they've thrown in the towel. I mean, this is for people who don't know. Phil Spencer said that Nintendo and Sony are no longer um, competition in the cloud-based services. So he, in essence, told everybody what Microsoft's future is going to be. As far as gaming, it's going to be cloud-based. So,
yeah,
so you can, and shout out to Enrique with Brap, and he made a good point. And JW just brought it up here again. We may see these games on PlayStation sooner than you think, albeit some type of service, albeit because
yeah.
they're both in the Azure cloud. So, people don't know Sony is using the Azure cloud servers. So you may see the game sooner than you think. I've always thought we'd see them in the next 2 to 3 years, 2023. But I guess there's an opportunity or a chance that they're both in Azure. and with Microsoft going full bore, now I see why. It makes sense now why Phil Spencer came out and said no exclusives or no new games for 2 years, because they're
Mm-hmm.
just going to be cloud based, which is fine. I mean, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So so, but yeah,
Yeah.
anybody
But
got any questions or anything out there for us? If not, we'll get on out of here. I've been on for about an hour, and I need
yeah.
to finish playing this game Control that everybody can see. So that I'm
Yeah.
struggling with.
Again, shout out for Phil Spencer for finally putting an end to the console war. It was a good
Yes.
run.
Hmm.
We had a lot of fun. Now it's time for the guys to go home, lick their wounds, and prep for that PS5.
Yeah, I guess my question is, I don't know what they're going to talk about, because it doesn't, it's not going to matter how powerful the Series X and PlayStation 5 are, because they're going to both do the same things. So they're going to
Yeah.
both have 4K native games. They have the ability to play 4K native movies. They're both going to have the same type of CPU. They're going to have extremely close specs on GPU. All the multi-plat games are going to look and run the same. So I've
Yeah.
heard. I mean, if everybody, it's because there's nowhere else to go. If it's 11.2 T flops, or the other one's 12 T flops, they're gonna run the exact same. You're gonna have, if the graphics package for Madden is 4K on the Series X, it will be 4K on the PlayStation. And so I don't know. There's nowhere else for these guys to go.
You know what,
So
Craig? Even if it is more, we got to realize we've had the world's most for about 2 to 3 years, and it didn't make a damn a difference. So, what makes you think it's going to make a damn a difference next time?
it didn't to me. I just I don't know what people were expecting. I did think there would be a significant difference in the multi-plat games, but I guess these last couple years, the multi-plat games. I mean, my goodness gracious, the Devil May Cry game ran better on the PlayStation. The new Call of Duty game is considered one of the best ones. It looks and runs better on PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean, we go on and on and on. Resident Evil looks better on PlayStation. And so it's just Ace Combat looks better on PlayStation. So, and
Yeah.
these are multi-plat games.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. I mean, and again, I want to give a shout out here to the really big Xbox gamer, J-Dub City. He has owned every iteration of Xbox, and so have I. J-Dub's owned more than I have, and given them away to lucky people that really wanted them. Because a lot of
Yeah.
people at the time of the year that those things came out, you know, me included, couldn't afford one. So full
Yeah.
disclosure, like I said. And so everybody, you all can check the links in the description. Everything that we've said to you here today can be sourced. Okay. We use this for the record. It's because nobody speculates here on my podcast, because nobody here is moist. I have to now find the podcast. So again, you can go to the YouTube video to watch the flight sim. You can see all the planes that you're going to have so far that are confirmed. You can go to Tom's guide. It has the confirmed Xbox Series X specs as of 7 days ago. And again, there's been no other updates on Series X. And finally, The Verge talks about what we're talking about kind of right now, kind of wrapping it up with Microsoft bending the knee. Your console war is over, so I don't know what these guys are going to talk about going forward. You're now going to see who rises to the top and who is just full of shit. So it is what it is. So, but guys, guys, we're going to get on up out of here, because it's 3:30 where J Dub is, and it's 4:30 where I am, and Daddy's hungry. So, and I'm going to go and finish playing Control. And of course, you all know I will be playing Mass Effect later on, Mass Effect 3. I may stream that for you guys. So, but all right, bro. Well, J Dub, you got anything else to say?
That's it.
All righty, man. Well, a shout out to the chat. I see we had nice little crowd for a 3:30 podcast, and I also shout out to the people putting up with me twice today. I was on at 9 a.m. and had a pretty good number, and no, I wasn't trying to use another podcast to build my number, because my number, as you all know, I've said it multiple times, my goal was to get 50 subs. And I checked that box many, many moons ago, thanks to you all. Thanks for coming and listening to an Xbox podcast that has actual confirmed information, not speculation. And everything we said to you guys is sourceable. So shout out to everybody. Check out the RGT podcast with Big Cloud Friday. And then check out J Dub City here on the best darn, is it the best darn or best damn podcast?
Yeah, the best damn podcast.
Okay, yeah, check him out on the best damn podcast and other things. And he's J Dub, go ahead and shout yourself out, being the big Xbox guy that you are.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's your boy J Dub. Y'all know on Twitter, starting stuff, fighting, punching, biting, doing what I do. And you can find me at JDubCity16. You can also find me on my YouTube channel at JDub. So go ahead, give me a follow, give me a like, and check me out, man. Trying to keep you guys laughing and trying to bring that knowledge with Craig.
Yeah, hey, this is the best darn Xbox podcast. I just decided to name it. Where I think we're gonna go with all confirmation, no speculation. So if you're an Xbox guy and you want the truth and not a bunch of fruit booties jerking each other off, because we're going to tell you the truth here and talk about the games. Talk about the games. How many Xbox podcasts actually talk about the games that are coming out? None, because they're too busy talking about fake ass specs. So, all right then, guys, and remember, everything you heard here can be confirmed, and you don't have to take it with a grain of salt. So peace out and love. And remember, play the games or the terrorists will win. Take it easy, guys.